What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So after yesterday's video of workhorse stock analysis, I decided today again to kind of think outside the box and to focus in on another sector that has been quite topical over the past few months, which is the cannabis sector. I will give my views on the sector and if I think it's a good sector to invest in or if it's gone up in smoke, and pardon the pun. Before we get into today's video, it'd be great if you consider subscribing to this channel, as we're currently on 254 subscribers, so it'd be great if we get up to 260 before the end of this weekend. So like the electric vehicle sector that I mentioned in yesterday's video, the cannabis sector can also be quite volatile and has been known to drop or rise 10% in any given day. So in today's video we're going to focus in on three of the biggest cannabis companies at the moment, and in my opinion, will I be investing in either of these three companies, or would I prefer to go into a cannabis ETF, or would I pick one overall if there is one better than the rest? So the top three companies in the cannabis sector industry is Canopy Growth with 83 million in revenue, Aurora Cannabis with 54 million in revenue, and Tilray with 33 million in revenue. So we're going to go through briefly the three of these companies in today's video. First up is Canopy Growth Corporation, which is ticker CGC. At time of recording, the current NAV was $16.40. It is traded on the New York Stock Exchange. One thing I noted at the beginning of this video is the volatility of this market. You can even see here from Canopy's Growth 1 year stock chart. It's really quite choppy over the last year, and you can see it even went down to say $10 or $11 in March during the crash, and since then it has come up again and has nearly gone up to double what it is since March, and is currently at $16.50. In terms of Canopy's top shareholders, we can see firstly that 41.62% of the shares is held by insiders, 13.35% is held by institutions, and 22.86% is held by institutions floated. Overall, the number of institutions holding shares is 510. In terms of the top three institutional holders, at top of the list is Vanguard Group with a 1.73% holding. Second is ETF Managers Group with a 0.72% holding. And thirdly is the Bank of Montreal in Canada with just over 0.5% of holding. The second company on this list is Aurora Cannabis and has ticker ACB. It is traded on the New York Stock Exchange, and at time of recording, its current NAV was $6.89. In terms of Aurora Cannabis's 1 year chart on Yahoo Finance, it's quite a thing of nightmares, and if you are invested in this company, I would advise that you'd look away right now. So you can see even up here, 1 year ago it was at $63 in NAV, and then since then it has gone down, and it went down, even then in the end of 2019 it went down to $28. In January it went down to $25. March down to $7.50. Bearing in mind now it was up at over $60, so it's nearly gone down 10 times. Then it went down to $6 and $5 even at the start of the summer, and it is currently down to $6.89. So that kind of just proves what I said at the beginning of this video, is that this cannabis sector market is very volatile, and you even saw there in the space of a year it went from over $60 down to $6. So that's why if you were going to invest in such a sector, that obviously you do your own due diligence first, but I would recommend a kind of overall ETF style approach if you were going into the sector, because as you can see, if you bought this on its own, you'd be down nearly 10 times the amount of money you invested originally. The company is split out in terms of shareholders in the following way. 2.9% of the percentage of the holdings in the company are held by insiders, 12.27% of the shares are held by institutions, and 12.63% of float are held by institutions, and in total there's 501 institutional holders in this company. And the third biggest company in the stock sector at the moment is Tilray Incorporated, and its ticker is TLRY. At time of recording, the company's NAV was $5.43, and it is traded on the Nasdaq. And again, for this company, it's not looking too promising either. So you can see here a year ago, it was up at about $28 to $30 a share. And since then, just like the prior company, it has crashed and burned. And unfortunately, it hasn't turned over a new leaf. Again, pardon the pun. So in March, it dropped down to $2, just under $3 a share, which again is like a 10 time down decrease. And currently it is at about $5.40. So again, this company over the last year has performed terribly. Tilray's top 3 shareholders are the ETF Managers Group with a 2.87% holding, Murray Asset Group Global Investments Cooperative 1.7%, and Susquehanna International Group with a 1.34%. In my own personal opinion, and again, I am not a financial advisor, I wouldn't invest in any one of these companies just on their own. If I was to invest in this sector, I would probably go in an ETF kind of form. So on screen at the moment, you can see the top 10 ETFs for the cannabis sector. So we have the ETF MG Alternative Harvest, the Advisor Shares Pure Cannabis, the Index Microsectors, Cannabis ETF, Global X Cannabis, Cambria Cannabis, Index Microsectors Cannabis Leveraged, Advisor Share Advice, and Amplify Seymour Cannabis. And it is not just me either who is kind of skeptical of this industry at the moment. You could see here from realmoney.com that capital raising in cannabis falls 67%. So raising capital in the cannabis industry has declined by 67% in 2020 according to the most recent data from the Viridian Capital Advisors, which company tracks capital raisings within the company, both public and private. So for the first time in 6 months ending in June, they found that there were 166 capital raises for 2.6 billion, a big drop from 2019's first 6 months raise of 5.5 billion and 230 transactions. So it does kind of feel that investors are slowly trickling out of this market also. So with all that being said, that's my views on the cannabis sector at the moment. And for now, I'll be kind of staying out of that sector as I feel that it'd be more of a gamble, and if that was the case, I'd be more inclined to gamble in the electrical vehicle sector than the cannabis sector at the moment, because you could see there from 2 of the 3 companies that we looked into the drastic fall over the last year in this company. Now you can also say that because it's after having such a fall that it could be undervalued, but to be honest, I don't think it's possible to pick which one of these companies would go back up in value. So for me, I won't be investing in this sector anytime soon. So that being said, that brings the end to today's video. Thanks very much if you made it this far. If you liked the video, please smash that like button. And if you haven't done so already, I'd be very grateful if you consider subscribing to this channel. And most importantly, comment below on your views on this sector, and are you currently invested in this sector, or have you sold your shares in this sector? Also, I might kind of keep up this kind of a series where I look into different sectors and companies. So if you have any suggestions, please comment below on any one sector or individual company that you would like me to analyze over the coming days. Thanks very much guys, and I will see you all in the next video.